Hey guys, welcome back. It's Ivan here, and if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Ivan and I make videos about skincare, makeup, and just random chats. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. Also, feel free to follow me on my Instagram right here. I will be posting there regularly as well. Today I just wanted to talk about a lot of things that you guys always DM me and ask regarding, work life and finding your passion in life in general. And I know a lot of you guys are probably working or in school right now. So I was like, why not talk about it and my experience in finding myself, I guess, also. Alright, so I'm going to go in with sunscreen as usual every day. I don't really skip sunscreen. I think that's like one thing you can do for yourself. I feel like you can't really control stress, control work, control the weather. Sometimes you can't control what you eat, though you can. But sunscreen is one thing that you can control and you can change because you can wear it every day. I feel like be quite generous with this because I'm gonna skip moisturizer because I feel like this one works really well. I also took off my nails today because they're looking kind of crusty. It's my first time getting nails done and everybody's just commenting how chipped and messy my nails are. And I'm like, that's the state of my life, girl. Now that my skin is prepped, I'm gonna go in with my primer. Give me one second, I'm gonna wash this real quick. Alright, I washed my blender. So finding a passion. I feel like everybody asks that when you're young. It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And I feel like when we're in school, we're not given that much time to think about really what we want to do with our passion. We're just sort of thrown in there and you don't even get that much time to think about what majors you want to take, what classes you want to take. I feel like we're so conditioned to have an idea of what we want to be. And Michelle Obama's book, like Becoming, speaks a lot about that. It's like everybody asks, what do you want to become when you grow up? And nobody really gives you the time to think about it, because when you say things that are out of what they think success is, you're usually like given a feedback response whether it's good or bad, and then we're just conditioned to go with it, I'm gonna be using the YSL Touche Club Blur Primer. This one is really beautiful. It glides onto the skin, it has apricot and rice bran oil, and it just moisturizes the skin well. It gives like a very blurred canvas to start my makeup with. And I always wear sunscreen under this one. Gives a really nice even base. It's a classic primer, honestly, this one. After applying the primer, it just allows the foundation and concealer to glide on without being tugged. And I really like this one because I feel like everybody can use this. This is a very smoothing primer, especially if you have textured, porous skin and you want that blurred canvas. This one's great. Okay, going on to foundation, I'm gonna use this serum foundation. I'm gonna go for a very glowy look today. So this is the Moonshot Face Perfection Serum Foundation. I'm gonna be talking and introducing the products as I go along because I feel like that works the best. But yeah, when I was younger, I always drew like anime and manga, and I feel like even growing up in Malaysia, it was still kind of, not to say frowned upon, but it wasn't like the traditional like STEM field that everyone was going towards. Like everybody wanted to be an engineer, IT, doctor, and that makes sense because at the time I feel like the technology boom was so big. Like I think I lived in the era before the internet, so I got to see how the internet changed like the field of work and the scope of what people wanted to do with it. And so many people wanted to be engineers and coding and all that stuff. And for me, I never really gravitated towards it, and I was always like drawing and I don't know, looking at magazines and wanting to put on makeup and all that stuff. And I did feel kind of like outcasted for what I wanted to do. I feel like when we were younger, we have this gut instinct that tells us what we want to do and what we don't. Like as a child, you'll see children say no more often than adults these days. If a kid doesn't want to do something, they'll just say, no, I don't want to. But as you get older, like as you sort of interact with people more, first of all, society conditions us to want to be accepted and loved, and so our expectations for ourselves change based on that, that feedback that we get. I think as I went through life, schooling, jobs, my gut instinct got weaker and weaker. Like my voice and my direction got weaker just because there's so many people in the world telling you what you should and should not be, including your family, society, schooling. There's just so many things that your thoughts could get muddled, and that's how I felt in school. Though I love school, I went to community college and then I went to UC and then I dropped out. Like I enjoyed my time there because when I was in school, I learned so many, like my GEs. I got to interact with so many people and build up my social skills, and it also taught me how to work in a group, be a team player, turn in assignments on time, even though I'm not like really great at that. It also gave me the opportunity to take a bunch of classes, and I think knowing what you don't want to do is just as important. So when you're in school, you should take a bunch of classes, and when you're young and working odd jobs, you should work many jobs, like different kinds of jobs, just to see what field and what you don't want also, so that you don't go back to it. But I think it deserves to be explored. So next, to highlight and also conceal under eyes in just Perfect in general, I'm going to use this Touche Éclat Radiant Touch, sort of like a highlighting pen and concealer in one. It's very sheer. And funny thing about this product is that when I actually started learning about makeup and playing with makeup, I saw Lisa Eldridge use this, and I was like, I need to get that. And I never really did get it, and now I'm, you know, working with them. So I feel like it's a very kind of complete moment. And this is just gonna brighten the skin. It has like tiny bits of reflective particles, but it's not like glittery or anything. So it's not gonna look like you applied a highlighter under your eyes. It's just very subtly perfecting. And on days where you don't wanna wear foundation, this is good for brightening the under eyes as well. You can go like half a shade lighter than you usually do if you wanna highlight. But if you just wanna conceal, I feel like the same shade would work. I'm in the shade 3.5. It's not thick or cakey, or you know, those super high coverage concealer can be kind of thick. This one does not feel like that at all, and it wears really well throughout the day. Yeah, actually how I started my love for makeup and all this stuff was I watched Lisa Eldridge's videos a lot growing up. I really enjoyed her content, and I felt like she was very knowledgeable, and the way she delivered it was very eloquent. And not in the way that's like, oh, British accents are better. It's just the way she presented information I just absolutely loved. And even when I was in school learning about nutrition, I was a nutritional science major, by the way. I was reading books about nutrition, but I also bought, I think it was by Kevin Aquan, Making Faces or something like that. And I also bought books just to learn about makeup and all of that. So I guess my gut instinct always told me to go towards like makeup and skincare and sharing all that stuff, but the society's instinct was to tell me to stay in school and finish school and, you know, be a good student and, you know, make your family proud. Make myself proud, even though at the time my idea of making myself proud was getting good grades, making sure that I attend every class, not be late, get a job, make sure you get paid well. I feel like that at the time was my goals and passion in life. Because I really didn't know what I wanted. Well, I knew, but I just never listened to what I actually wanted. What I put all over was this Holika New Drop Lumi Cheek. And I try to use all cream products before I set my face with the powder, just so, you know, everything is melted and the same. Next, I'm actually gonna use this lip tint, this lip color as a blush. I think it's a Korean brand. It's like a sort of more orangey color because I want a more orangey look today. I don't want it to be overpoweringly tangerine colored. I just want like a touch of orange. And I want it to look kind of sunsetty and glowy. Just like a nice color for now, you know? And then after that, I'm gonna prep my lips. I've been loving this Sweet Chef Lip Sleeping Mask. It's really thick. It's the kind where you have to melt with your fingers. So yeah, so from a young age, I always felt like my inclination was, you know, makeup and sharing my love for makeup and all that. But I don't know. Yeah, it never really hit me until one day I was, sorry, I need to concentrate when I'm doing my brow. It's like kind of difficult. I'm gonna use this pen. It's like a slanted eyebrow pencil from Revlon. It's like an oval shape. It's kind of cool. So there's this one day when I was in college, I was in UC Davis, and it was nighttime, I remember, and I had a final the next day for biology. Mind you, I had already been in school for 3 years in community college prior to this, and I was just sitting studying, and I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna film a video instead. And that's when I knew, like, that's when I listened to my instinct, right? I was like, do I really want to do this? Can I see myself doing this for the rest of my life? And that's a question I never asked myself when I was in school. Even when I was working like odd jobs, that's a question I never asked myself. Like, can I see myself doing this? Because I'm going to school for a reason, and it's to find out what I want to do. And so when I was in my nutritional science major, I never asked myself that question until that day. It was no, I couldn't. So I dropped everything from the video and kept uploading. So I dropped out of college, which is a whole ordeal. I think you should only do that when you have a clear idea of what you want to do. Because it's not easy, like the world is not easy. And I am very thankful to have been able to get through that process and figure out that, hey, it's not for me. And for a long time, I was beating myself up about it just because up until 24, I think, 23, I thought that was my life. Like, I thought I would get a degree, start a practice and stick with it like forever, because that's the programming that I was taught like ever since I was a child. I never really took the time to sit down and write down my feelings. Crazy. Now I'm gonna set my face. I'm not gonna set everywhere because I don't really need that. I think it's okay to let some parts shine. If you do get oily throughout the day, then you can set a little bit more if you want. But I feel like I use sheer layers with everything that I don't really need to set that much, especially around the eyes, nose, and like the sides of my face where I want to contour later. You do want to set because, you know, if you have long hair, it's gonna catch onto your face, and that's not a good feeling. I have 2 cats, I know. I mean, not the same as long hair, but you get what I'm saying. So I'm gonna use this YSL Touche Éclat 3D All Over Glow Powder to sort of just set my face and highlight as well. So this is a highlighting powder, and it's also like a finisher, so you can sort of set your makeup with it and also highlight. Set right here. The pearls are really fine, so it's not gonna look like overly shiny or glittery. It's not that kind of powder. It's just very like flattering, and it's very finely milled. It's like undetectable in the skin, yet it gives that subtle radiance. For the sides of my face, I typically like to go with a bigger powder brush, just like easier, and I just like go in with this and set it. And it's pink! Sort of like a soft pink. Very my color. Truly like not cakey looking. See? Very fine. And earlier, I don't know if you could tell, like my foundation was kind of pale, but that's because I don't really use inner highlighter. I prefer to sort of bronze outside and contour the outside versus using a really bright highlighter inside. I mean, sometimes I do, but it just depends on the mood. So with jobs and stuff, I think you should try out as many jobs as if you can. Apply to as many as you want. There's nothing wrong with trying different things, and it might be difficult at first to sort of get yourself acclimated, because every single job, like in the service industry, in the teaching industry, like I used to be a server, and then I used to work at Sephora actually, and I also used to work at a boba place. So I've worked a couple of jobs before this one, and I also worked at a salon before. It's good to try out different things just to see, you know, if it's the fit for you. It never really hurts. Try different things. Even when I was a server or a boba person, like making boba, not boba person, there's no such, like a boba barista is the word. I always tried my best. I always did. I always gave my 100%. Even though I knew that I was not gonna stay at that job forever, I always did my best. Because I feel like when you're excellent, people do notice and people take note of it, and it helps you in the future. You know, and it also makes you feel good to be excellent in what you're doing. And I'm not saying like break your back for this job. I'm saying like do the best you can. When you're at the job, you're at the job, and you're just doing the job well. Like you're not slacking, you're not gossiping, and that's how I saw every single job as, like a chance to learn and grow my skill set. And let's not confuse job for your work, right? Your calling is your work, I think. And that's the difference. Like a job is just a job to make money, to survive. But your work in this world is bigger than just a job. Your work in this world is how you approach things, what you can offer to the world, your passion, your purpose. And those go in the realm of work, not your job. Because sometimes when you're working an odd job, it's easy to feel like it's all pointless. But I remember Oprah once said, like, your job is your stage. Just like for her, being a talk show host was her stage. But that's not what her work is. Her work is sharing a common thread between everyone and trying to connect it. So figuring out what your work is very difficult, but you have to do it. And I wish that I had journaled more and been more introspective when I was younger, but I'm thankful for where I ended up. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of work to find out what your work is, you know. If you don't know what your work is or what you want to contribute to the world, I think the first thing you can do today is, or every day, is to sit with yourself and think about what you want for yourself in this world. And everyone's is different. But yeah, I think a lot of people have influenced me and helped me shape who I am today. So I'm always thankful for that. I'm amazed. I was shading my face with this Romand powder. It's a shading powder and it's really gray. So I use it on the outer corners of my face and sort of just use the dark color to sketch out my jawline. Because this color is very cool tone, so it looks like a shadow. But if you apply too much on light skin, it might look a little bit muddy. That's why I just use it to contour the sides. It's a really good contouring color. I also like using these contour colors for eyeshadow because it makes your eyeshadow blend really easily. And for this look, I'm gonna keep it quite tight to my lash line because this makeup honestly takes very short to do if I was not talking as much. To highlight, I'm gonna use the same YSL Touche Éclat 3D All Over Glow just to highlight the higher points. I'm also gonna highlight my eyelids and the inner corner. You can really see the difference when you highlight this part right here. It catches the light. For blush, I am going to go in with this Milani blush. It is a big bronzer, and I'm gonna use it as a blush. I'm just gonna start buffing and hugging the cheek a little bit onto the brow, so it looks very blended. I don't want any harsh lines for this look. I mean, I really like graphic looks right these days, but for this look, I want it to look soft and ethereal. And I think like for me, why I gravitated towards, you know, makeup is because in nutrition and math, I felt like everything was just so rigid. There was only one answer. You can only get one grade. It's not subjective at all, and it's very one way. And that's great if you love that, but it just wasn't for me. And so that's why I gravitated towards like makeup and drawing. It was honestly because I felt like with makeup, I feel like you can tell me that my makeup is bad, but you can't tell me that my makeup is wrong, because it's not. It's subjective. It's up to me. I really like how the bronzer looks all over, just to make myself like more bronze, I guess. I'm gonna go in with this eyeshadow palette, Play Color Arts by Etude House. Sort of like a warm neutral. I'm gonna use these two shades mixed together. I'm gonna buff it really close to the lash line. I'm gonna use a more detailed brush and then grabbing the dark brown. And then just gonna detail the lash line. Next I'm gonna use this yellow colored glitter pencil liner. It's from McQueen, I think. It's quite affordable. I'm gonna detail. It's really just gonna brighten up everything. So I'm gonna line the outer corner with just a little bit of eyeliner. It's coming together, it's coming together. Alright. For lips, I'm going to use this Color Going Right by 3CE. Honestly, with this look, you can use any color you want. You can top it off with the same lip color I used earlier on my cheeks, and I forget. It's from Mimi Box, I know that, but I don't know which color. When I find out, I will link it. It's like a watery tint type product. Very, very comfortable on the lips, as you can see. And if you apply too much eyeliner or too much lip product, you can always use the Radiant Touch Touche Éclat to sort of like clean up any eyeshadow fallout, any mascara. Give yourself some more snatched look. Alright, so this is the finished look. Thank you for watching. It's super, super easy. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed what I was talking about. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them below or on my Instagram. I also made a TikTok, by the way, so you know, if you want to go see all the skits that I do, go check it out. Yeah, I think even though I sound like I have everything figured out sometimes, I really don't. No, I never sound like that. I think I sound like I'm pretty still figuring things out, and I'm always figuring things out. Like, you always learn things about yourself, and one thing that's really been helping me is journaling about my feelings and my gratitude and my thoughts, and a lot of that has helped me decide what I want to do as a person, not just in your job and in your career, but how you want to come across, how you show up for your friends, your family, and in your workspace. Like, I wish I took up journaling earlier, just putting it out there. You know, for me, makeup started out as concealing my acne and, you know, just wanting to look flawless and perfect and stuff like that, but after time goes by, it's more about self-expression and sort of like rebellion, because, you know, boy makeup is like, we need more different kinds of everything, not just boys in makeup. So thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys. Thanks for all the amazing fan art. It's just incredible, it blows my mind. I know a lot of you guys in the future are going to be amazing artists, journalists, engineers, whatever you want to be. I know you're gonna do your best, and I believe in you. Alright, thank you guys so much. Bye!